Okay, I'm feeling like a kid in a candy store, and I am so excited to share with you. It is Devinah Day, baby. You know that this is one of my favorite days, and today we are going to be launching into the Phantom Orbs collection. I am incredibly excited to share these beautiful little babies with you. I was very kindly sent these over from Devinah, so thank you very much, Deandra. I really appreciate it. If you know me, you know that I probably would have purchased all these anyway. So it was just a nice little surprise, and I am very excited to dive into this with you. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly, and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Like I said, we're going to be launching into these beautiful shadows. We have 6 new shadows from Devinah to share. There are 2 formulas here. I'm going to give you all of my thoughts. Deandra was kind enough to send these over a while ago, so this isn't a first impressions necessarily. I've been playing with these for a while now. I have been creating look after look with these shadows. Speaking of which, I do have one of the shades on my Swatches today. This is this month's Build Your Own Palette look. I do have a shade on as my inner corner and my highlight. So if you want to know what's on my Swatches, you should stay tuned. But we are also going to be doing, of course, swatches, all the swatches, and not just arm swatches. I am doing eye swatches of every single shade for you, and we'll also be doing some comparison swatches. If there's anything else in my collection that I thought that as I was like swatching this, I was like, this might be close to this. I'm going to share that with you. I thought it also might be helpful to see some shades that are similar from Devinah, just so if you already have one in your collection and you want to see the comparison. I just really want to help you make the best eyeshadow single shopping selections that you can. Whew, that was a mouthful. I will have timestamps below of these beautiful lovelies for your viewing pleasure. I also have a little sped up tutorial at the end that I'll be sharing with you, but really today it's all about swatches. It's about swatching and seeing what we have to compare to, and giving you all my thoughts. If you do like this video, if you find it helpful, and if you love Devinah as much as I do, please go ahead and give this video a like. I am excited to get into these with you right now. So I am going to be doing swatches of these. I'm going to do regular and then also over a black base, but really I think the magic of these is on the eyeball. And let's face it, I just kind of wanted an excuse to put these all over my face. So I am going to be showing you those eye swatches, but if you want to see up close, really detailed, shiny, you know, all the light work that I can possibly do. I'm not that great at it, but I'm going to show you all the shifts that these have. But I think that the eye swatches just really show you what they're going to look like when you are using them. So we're going to dive into that. Now we do, again, have the 2 formulas. We have the Velvet Multichromes and the Sparkly Multichromes. I think that these are definitely 2 vastly different formulas from each other, but the thing that I love about these is they aren't flaky, they aren't chunky. I can tell you that right now. If you aren't a flake lover, these will be your jam. So right here with our first 3 shades, these are the Velvet Multichromes. At first glance, you just don't see the magic of them until you catch the light, you see the shift. I mean, these are they're so unexpected. I mean, truly, like when you see this in the pan, this is the first shade. This is Verdant Frost. I would not expect that. I would not expect that like almost lime green shift that you can get from this. It's so bright, and you also get this beautiful, I mean, I would honestly say that that's like a blue or a lavender flip from that. So pretty. Let me go ahead and turn down these lights. I just wanted to see you the true on color so that you could see that. I mean, look. Oh my gosh. Then this one here is Soleil's, and this is the one that I have on my eyes today. This is also what is on as my highlight. So I really love the shade. It is, you know, it definitely leans into that pink, that beautiful, like bright pink. It has a bit of a green shift to it. To me, this is really like a pink gold green shift. It is so pretty. And then this final one, while it was probably the one that I thought I was going to be I don't want to say disappointed in, but like, okay, yo, let me just say, when I got this and I saw it in the pan, I thought it was a matte. I was like, oh, this is pretty matte, but I'm surprised that it's like a pastel matte. But no, because right on, you see that beautiful like aqua color, but then it shifts into that beautiful, I'm gonna say almost like a periwinkle. Like it's got that little bit of violet, little bit of blue. Oh, I mean, even just like little bits of like almost like a light pink. It's so shifty, so wonderful. The day that I wore this on my inner corner, I honestly could not stop looking at it. It made me so happy. Like, oh, you can see right there how pretty this is. I'm so sorry that these like went right over the bone in my arm. So the swatch over the black is kind of patchy, but you can still see the vibe of what it would look like. These are very beautiful, very unexpected, and very, very creamy and velvety, especially this water mist shade. I think that this one is very much like the texture of Nokomis. If you have that one, it's honestly, it's almost like a finishing powder, you know, like when you get that very satiny, silky feeling finishing powder. I would say that that's very similar to how these feel. But I mean, look how different. Wow. Okay, so now let's get into the 3 sparkly ones. Here we have our 3 sparkly multichromes. I mean, wow. Okay, these are so beautiful. So let's talk about these. First, we have Luna Storm. You can see this has this intense green shift to it. This is definitely like that green to pink shift. I mean, especially if I turn it here, you can see the green is very, very strong. It's almost like a bit of like a blue in there too. So it's like blue and green and the beautiful pink. I love this shade. And then here we have Nocturne Ash. Oh, I mean, honestly, these are so shifty that they're like hard to catch with the camera. When I was trying to film for a reel, it was like the minute the light hit them, my camera was like, wow, what's going on here? But you can see, I mean, Nocturne Ash has so many different colors. Like here you can see a bit of a green, and then as I shift, you see a gold, you see that beautiful, I don't want to call it mauve. I mean, it's like an intense pinky purple. I mean, here you can see that base color. Like what? Like, look, so many colors. How do you even name them all? But it is very pretty. I will say that this one stained my lid when I wore it. So just a little FYI on that one. So then our last one here is Midnight Nova. This is one that I use in the look that you will see at the end of this video. She is so pretty. This is, honestly, I think this again is like that blue periwinkle shade that is like just high voltage plugged in. I mean, look how intense that flip is. It's like ba-bam. So here you can see the blue, you can see almost like a ultraviolet pink to it. So fun. And these are all very, very creamy. Like, let me see if I can show you just on the back of my fingers. I mean, they're high metallic, very, very molten and so smooth, but just so shiny, so shiny. And you know, sometimes you swatch like this and you think, ooh, pretty, and then you swatch it on your eye and you're like, well, that was disappointing. These don't do that. They look just as metallic and beautifully like molten on the lid. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can take my face for it, because we're going to get into eye swatches right now. I'm coming to you with a naked face. I don't think that matters because it's all about the eyeballs right now. I did lay down a little bit of the Oma Stay Woke concealer. That's normally what I put on as a base for my eyes, is just a little bit of concealer. I haven't set this down. I feel like I kind of want a little bit of that tackiness. So we're gonna go through with these 2 shades. I will of course wet them because that's what I do 90% of the time. I can't wait to see these. All right, so this first one is Verdant Frost. I'm really excited for this one. You know I love a good shifty, peachy moment. Let's put this one on. Oh my. Okay, so I had a feeling that these first 3 shades, the ones that almost look a bit more satiny in the pan, I had a feeling they were gonna be like silent but deadly. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be that like sneaky shade. Oh, well, okay. And by the way, I'm using the Larafay E18 brush. I really like this brush for like laying down a lot of shimmer. So maybe on this inner corner, you can see like, it's like peach, and then you get this really fun, like yellowy green, and then this almost like, I swear I'm seeing like a purple, maybe not so much mauve-y. It is really like almost like a slight purple shift. Sorry, Deandra, if I'm just like totally off on this, but that's almost what it looks like a purpley mauve. All right, now on the other side, we're gonna do Soleil's. I cannot wait to see this one as well. I mean, I can't wait to see all of them. Okay. Whoa. You're not seeing it in the camera right now, I don't think. This has such a cool shift. It's like pink into green. Like, I feel like we've been seeing a lot of green with pink shifts. This is definitely like a pink with a green shift. It's like so pretty. It honestly, whatever you're seeing on the camera is like double. It's double in person. Like, it is so freaking vibrant. These are sneaky little bastards. Like, in the pan, they're a little bit unassuming. When I was like playing with lights and like shining light on them, I could tell that there was gonna be some mystery in here, but I can see a deeper pink, and then it almost shifts into like a, like you can see more of the like yellow flip to it, and then there's this cool green on the outer corner. It's delicate. I mean, it's definitely there, but these are, you know, lighter shades. Like, they're almost like, I don't want to say pastel multichromes because they're so flippy, but I'm gonna say they're almost like a pastel multichrome. Okay, another morning and another eye swatch session. I've been having a lot of fun with this, by the way. I would highly recommend it. If you have an extra 10 minutes in your morning, like when you're doing your makeup, if you do your eyes first, go ahead and do like one swatch of a single shadow that maybe you haven't used yet, just for the heck of it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and dive in with our last of the Velvet Multichromes and then the first of the sparkly ones. So today I decided, where did it go? I should have decided to clean my vanity, but I didn't. I decided to use the Jason Wu Prime Eye. This is the shade 2, and it's somewhere between a white primer and a skin tone primer. So I thought that would be really nice for this third shade. We're gonna go through with Water Mist on one eye, and then also do our first again of the sparkly multichromes. We'll go through with Luna Storm. I can't wait. So again, I'm just popping a little bit onto my Lara Faye E18, and then going to go through with MAC Fix Plus. By the way, I know that I've talked about these brushes before on my channel, but I don't hear a lot of, especially US-based creators talk about these. And this really is such a nice brush company. So I do have my lights turned down a little bit lower again, so that hopefully you can kind of see the shift more. I'll also turn the lights up so that we can kind of see a variety of lighting. Ooh. Okay, I think the shift of this one is going to be a little hard to capture. I'm gonna try once I like pull in my camera, but it is definitely that, like, what would you even call this green? This is sort of like seafoam green a little bit, and the flip on it, oh, like it's, oh, I can see it like right here. It is, oh, the camera's just not gonna pick it up, but I will try to do it when we get in closer. It's like a really light kind of like pinky lavender. It's very pretty. And then in the direct light, it has like a beautiful extra teal shimmer, but it's very subtle. Good morning. I'm here to do another eye swatch of Water Mist because after I used that very light primer, I then went and did a look, which you'll see later, where I used it dry over concealer on my inner corner, and it really popped quite a bit more. So I wanted to give you another eye swatch. I'm gonna start. Okay, so I'll definitely zoom in so that you can see better, but I can really see that like violet pink flip and then that like more intense minty green. So I'll give you the close-up so you can see on that inner corner you've got that beautiful like light violet. It's almost got a pink flip. It's a little stronger than you're seeing it on the camera, I would say, and then it almost like disappears. It's phantom. So this is definitely the softest finish and shift out of the three, but it is also, I think, the most unique combination. Okay, this is very pretty. I will say though, I feel like I can already think of a couple shades that I personally already have in my collection that might be similar. And of course, I'm gonna be giving some comparison swatches soon, so we will see how right I am. All right, we are going to get into our last two eye swatches. I have gone back to using concealer, so I'm starting out with Nocturne Ash. Ooh, this is a pretty shade. It's not what I was expecting. I'm not quite sure what I was expecting, but it's not what I was expecting. This has a lot of dimension to it. I can't wait to show you this one up close. And the last shade is Midnight Nova. I have a feeling this is maybe going to be the fan favorite from this collection, but we'll see. The shift on this, you're totally not seeing it here. Whoa. Okay, this has a pink to almost like periwinkle to teal shift. Oh, Deandra, this is beautiful. Okay, you all know that I am not a blue and purple wearer usually. This one though is like, she's freaking majestic. This is gonna be what stays on my eyeballs today. I can tell you that for sure. All right, I hope you enjoyed that swatcherama. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know if you like the eye swatches. If it's helpful, I'll consider doing it again in the future. It was nice that I had these in advance because I was able to just do it like over a few days rather than do like everything all at once. But now we're gonna go and do some comparison swatches. Again, I just wanna compare to a few other existing Devinah shades that I already have so that in case you have a couple of these, you can kind of like find the similarities or the differences. And then also a few that as I was using these, I was like, gosh, I think that kind of reminds me of this other shade that I have. Sometimes I was right and sometimes I was wrong. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is our first set of swatches. This is the shade from Devinah, Luna Storm. I think this is, in this collection, it's the most dupeable. There are definitely some formula differences here, but this is Galactic Blossom from Terra Moons, and this is Undeniably Pink from Touch of Glam. So, I mean, you can see here, like, I feel like Devinah's shade, when it's not hitting the light, it and Undeniably Pink have more of a pink base to them, but you know, when they're in the light, they're quite similar. These two, however, the formula is so different. Touch of Glam is like very smushy and dare I say it, slightly greasy. So if you like this color, let's say even you have it from Touch of Glam and you're just like, dang, that color creases on me all the time, this one might be a good option for you. I mean, there are similarities between Galactic Blossom and Luna Storm. They're not exactly alike, but they are very close. All right, here we have the shade Nocturne Ash from Devinah. I wanted to pull out a couple of the shades from my recent Shine by SD. So this is the shade Mountain Magic. Let me just double check the name on that. Yeah, Mountain Magic. That's from the As Above collection. And this is the shade Flirtatious. That is from their Dynasty Series 1. So, I mean, maybe in the camera, like dead on, they look very similar, Mountain Magic and Nocturne Ash, but they definitely have a different flip from each other. You can see here, you can see like more of that like blue, green. I think honestly there are more colors that flip in the Devinah one versus Mountain Magic. Really honestly just has that like, what would you call that? Like a golden amber, but and I'm sorry, I have to like look at this right now to be able to describe it, but in the Devinah shade, I see, of course, that like base kind of mauve-y, rosy shade, but I see green, I see gold, I see blue, like there's just so much more to this one. So this one is definitely more colorful, but their base is pretty similar. All right, here compared to Midnight Nova, this is Midnight Nova on the end, by the way. We have Lucid Lavender from Touch of Glam and the Cosmos from Terra Moons. So right away, I thought about Lucid Lavender, and then I was like, you know what? The Cosmos kind of has some of this, but as you can see, they're different. So, I mean, definitely the Cosmos has a lighter base to it. If I flip here, you can really see that. And the shift on, you know, Lucid Lavender and Midnight Nova are different. I do think they have similar vibes, but again, I think you see more, maybe not more, but different. I think that Midnight Nova has maybe a bit more of the green and less of that like purpley blue that Lucid Lavender has, which makes sense since it says it's lavender. So you can see here, like this almost has a little bit more of a blue-green base where this has like a blue-purple base. Here, I have pulled up some shadows to swatch next to Verdant Frost, which is this one right here. This first one is Aylin, also from Devinah Cosmetics. This is one of the Halo Moons collection. So I think that you can see that this has almost like a bit more of like a gray purple to it, which you don't really see that often in it. I mean, usually I see the pink and the like yellow shift, but it does have that like slightly gray purple to it. And then this last one here is Astral from ATHR Moons. Similar, I would say, but I think that again, it has a little bit more of that gray underbase. There really, I mean, there is not a gray base to these. It really is like a sheer colorful base. So this one, Verdant Frost, I think you see a bit more of that like peachiness, but it also has a more intense pink. Okay, really quickly, I just went and grabbed my Cliona stash. These are not the same, but I did want to show you. This is Flicker. Again, it has like these iridescent ones have that gray underbase. I thought that they might be close. They do have some of the same like amber shift, but this one is way more pinky. But I just have to show, like, honestly, I just feel like these are shinier and this has more of that, like, I hate to say it, but kind of like chalky base to it. Okay, hunting through my collection, I found a couple more that I wanted to compare to Luna Storm. So here we have Cliona Chromatic and we have ATHR Moon's Phoenix. So it's like Chromatic is a little bit more peachy amber and Phoenix has definitely more like, I would say like gold orange to it. Whereas, I mean, that Luna Storm just has that stronger green that you can pull out of it. Like, I tell you what, these, I don't really have a lot to compare to some of these. So like here you can see like that green comes out way stronger in this one, and Phoenix definitely has that like warmer, more ambery flip to it. Okay, I found a closer dupe than I thought I was going to in my collection for Water Mist. So that's this one here. Here, this one is actually one of my favorite shades from this brand. This is Pretties for Your Face Heavenly. Now, I want to see if I can catch it because at first I was like, oh my gosh, these are dead ringers for each other. But actually, I mean, first I will say that Water Mist is a bit more smooth, but it also has a bit more of an intense green flip to it. Maybe you can see that right there. Hopefully you can see that right there. So these I put up more for like formula reference. This is Nokomis or Nokomis from Devinah Cosmetics. And then this is from one of the recent launches from ATHR Moons. This is Falling Star. Boy, you can barely see that there. It's there, but it's just not very shiny. So let me just try to give you a little look so you can see here as I turn this. I just feel like Water Mist, you get more of that intense green flip from it. Really quickly, Editing Kelly popping this iPhone shot in from my knuckles. It is Nokomis, Fairy Fire, Water Mist, Soleil's, and Verdant Frost. So I had some questions about Fairy Fire compared to some of these other shades, and I wanted to show the textural differences. I personally think Fairy Fire has more of the micro sparks. It just has a little more of that sparkle, but you can see here that they all have that very almost invisible base to them when my hand shifts right there. Nokomis is freaking my camera out with how glowy it is. All right, now that I have glitter covering my arm, my body, my everything, and all of my magnetic palettes are strewn about, I hope you enjoyed that. If there's anything that I didn't compare to that you would like to see that maybe I have, I would be more than happy to do a swatch if I can. I'll probably just end up posting it on my stories on Instagram so that everybody can see that. So again, my Instagram handle is Keep Beauty Real. Now we're gonna go ahead and dive into that look that I did. Again, I really loved this look. I basically could not stop staring at myself. I sent Deandra a little video chat like, oh my God, like freaking out just because I was like, this is so pretty. So I had a lot of fun with this. All right, our swatch party is done and I love the shade so much that this is gonna be what I wear today. So I figured I'd just record it so that you can all see the look that I create. I did wipe off that other shade. Which one was that? That was Nocturne Ash. I just wanted to show you, it does stain a bit. that never concerns me because usually by the next time I wash my face, it's gone. But if it is a thing for you, I just wanted to let you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop Midnight Nova all over the lid on this side, and then we will go through the rest of this eye look and we can see what we create. All right, here is our final look and I'm in love. I have to say, as you saw, I put that Water Mist shade on my inner corner and I just used it dry on what has now become my favorite, like, loaded on inner corner brush, and that is the Rephr 12. I talked about this in another video, but this looks so much more impactful here. I don't know if it is because it's dry, I just loaded it on dry, or I don't know if it was because that Prime Eye Primer just totally screwed with things. So at this point, you probably will have seen an extra eye swatch of this shade because I really want to give it its best moment to shine, and I'm wondering if I just didn't do a good combination of things. Or I will have left you a little note, which you already saw. But anyway, right when I put that on, because I like grabbed a lot of it, and I mean, not like a crazy amount, but I grabbed a decent bit, and when I went like this, it was just like, boom! I was like, whoo, okay. So I do really love this look. And of course I paired it with some Devinah mattes. If you're curious about what else is on my face, I went through with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation and I mixed it in with like a hydrating serum just to try to sheer it out. For my blush, I used the Wayne Goss Blush Peony palette. I think that this goes really well with this look. You can see it's got like a slight shifty highlight and it's not too like ba-bam because I really want the eyes to be the shine here. No pun intended, or intended, whatever. And then Sunset Rose Lust Gloss from Pat McGrath. So really enjoying this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. All right, lovelies. This was a lot. This was a lot. I had a lot of fun. I got to touch a lot of eyeshadow, which always makes me happy, and I hope that you found it helpful. So again, let's just start from the top again and we'll do a little rundown. So we have the 6 shades here in the 2 formulas, obviously the Velvet and the Sparkly Multichromes. So again, for me, the Velvets were very unexpectedly amazing. I really do like them. I think that it's something that, you know, you just have to play with to really know how you like to use them. I mean, like I said, I found that when using Water Mist, I was like, well, didn't like it over that primer. Let's try something else. Let's try it a different way. Some things work better wet, some things work better dry. Obviously, you can use a tacky base. I did not use that, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning, but all of my swatches were done on a dry arm, clean fingers, all that. I will say probably towards the end there, my hand was just, it was giving up. It was giving up and it was probably still damp, but obviously they're all damp at that point. So at least it was comparing apples to apples. Anyway, I digress. These velvets are very pretty. They're going to be wonderful if you have textured lids. I mean, if you have textured lids and you're going to wear something shiny, 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 you know you're going to enhance it a little bit, right? But, you know, even just looking at the Soleils on my cheek here, and my skin is like, it's not living its best life, but she's doing better. She's doing better, and I don't feel like this is super texture enhancing. I did blend it in nicely. I mean, you can really build up the intensity of that shade. It was very beautifully like high foil multichrome at first, and then I just wanted to soften it out, so I just blended it out a little bit, but it's still that little bit of unexpectedness. And I like it. I'm just making up all sorts of words today. That's what happens. It's okay. But I do think that this texture for shiny, shifty shadows, I think it really gives you a beautiful look on the lid. It doesn't have any flakiness whatsoever. I think that that also lends itself to less fallout, which is nice. So I'm very happy. The Sparkly Multichromes, obviously, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful. I think that these are really set apart from other Devinah shadows because they have so much, like, so many colors, I guess, like so many colors. When you look and it's shifting, it's almost like that, like oil slick on an oil slick. I I will say, obviously, from my comparison swatches, the first one, which I'm already forgetting the name of, this first one, Luna Storm. So this is not a unique shade by any means. The formula is beautiful. I definitely like this formula better than the Touch of Glam formula, just because it's not quite so like molten and emulsified. So if you have that shade and it was just like slip slidey on your lids, you might really enjoy this one if you just want a different formula. But they're very, very beautiful. I mean, just even as I'm sitting here looking, as I'm sitting down looking at this pan and I see Nocturne Ash, I'm like, so many colors, because I really think like the sparkle is multichrome, the base has some multichrome to it. It's like, again, it's an oil slick on an oil slick, and I think that they're very pretty. So if you love that super multi-dimensional vibe, I think you're gonna really like these. I think also, that being said, those three shades are best used like all over the lid. Let them be the superstar, you know. I just don't think that you see all the magic of them if you just pop it in one spot, but that's just me. You do your makeup how you want to do your makeup. But let's talk about the details of this launch. The Phantom Orbs collection is launching on October 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is also noon Eastern Time. Now, each single shade is $17, and then they do have a bundle deal for $84 on the day of launch, and that's the only day that that will be available. So if you are thinking you really want all of these, the launch day might be the day to snag it. If you are just looking to like pick and piecemeal, you know, you can do that as well. I think that these are lovely. I mean, I definitely think you should go through your collection and look at what you have and see if you have any of the ones that I did, because I do think that there are a couple shades in here that I have that are similar in my collection. Like I said, sometimes it was formula, sometimes the Devinah was more intense, sometimes it had more of a base, sometimes it had less of a base. I think obviously the sparkly multichromes are going to be the showstoppers here, but I think that the velvet multichromes are such a lovely formula and they're really versatile. I mean, I've loved using them as inner corner. I think they'll look great as topper shades. Obviously as a highlight, you could totally do that. I just really enjoy them. I enjoy them a lot more than I thought I was going to. And again, now that you've seen these comparison swatches, hopefully it has helped you decide what you'd like to shop for. If you do shop and you decide to pick anything else up, I do have a non-affiliate code, which is Keep Beauty Real. It will save you 20%. There are some exclusions, but if there's some other things that you'd like to pick up when you snag these, please go ahead and use my code if you want to save some money. If you're looking for some inspiration, I do have a swatch party of my entire Devinah collection. I also have a fun video sharing what I called the Queen of the Crescent palette, which is Deandra's favorites. The owner of Devinah, the mastermind, the creative genius behind this brand, gave me her favorites, although I'm sure now I probably need to update that with the new collections. But she gave me her favorites and I'm sharing those all with you, and of course created a couple looks. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below and I will see you really soon.